Okay, I think I'm live. Yeah, well, this is just kind of I keep calling it my weasel. But anyway, my new weasel is kind of large, and I so love just working on it. And I think it's also because it's new. I just want to see, is it possible actually to do a stream while I'm working on this giant easel with the a slanted camera angle? What about the light? How strange is it gonna look? Sketch like this, and for me it's like spot on, but for you guys it's got an angle, so everything would look like foreshortened, like it's gonna look a little bit twisted. So hi Dan. I'm working on my big easel today. So what I did is I just collaged myself a substrate, and I got an idea of what I'm gonna do. So I deliberately chose some strange collage pieces because I recently painted this for my channel, and then I ended up with this fun looking guy with a goatee. Can you see him? I have to I have to explore this character more. I thought he was so hilarious with the goatee, the glasses, and that hat. So I was thinking, oh my god, I need to work some more with his character, and I want to blow him up on this giant sheet here. And he comes off to me like some sort of an explorer, like not a Dr. Livingstone, but the kind of like a botanical collector, a guy who's really own a traveler's notebook, going around in nature, collecting stuff, pondering, journaling. So I thought that with that in mind, that this background here was suitable. I glued on sea map. It's a map for some Danish islands and the depth of the ocean, and then just worked on top of it with some Tim Holt collage tissue paper, some cutouts from, I think, a dictionary, and then some paper from the Klimt. Uh, what is it called? Oh my god, Stamperia Klimt paper pad collection. And up here I got like a world map. So I think the setting for framing this explorer in this is the best that it can be. Let's see. You can't hear me? Um oh my god, you're back with sound. Okay. You know what? I changed up my camera settings, so I could have messed up with the sound. So I'm just so happy that you can hear me now. But anyway, let me try and sketch up this guy here. I'm thinking that I will sketch up with new color tools. Now let me pick a color. What color should I sketch with? Should I just sketch? It's like a flesh tone. If it doesn't show up, then I can, change color. What I got here is a sheet that's been prepped. You buy them as canvas sheets in a sheets. Man, you buy them as canvas sheets in a paper bag. So it's like linen that's been treated with gesso, I think only once. So of course I treated it once more. So it's like two coats of gesso on top of it. So it's a good substrate right here on this square. And then these areas here got a coat of matte medium on top. So it's gonna be like a little bit sketchy when you glide from one substrate to another. But hey, maybe that could be like the charm of this finished piece, right? Now I have to think about how do I want his head, because this is kind of a tall piece of paper. So I think I will start drawing in his glasses, because then I can sort of determine the height of his whole face. So let's see. What to say about sketching on a giant easel is that it's perfect. I mean, I'm just actually gonna stand up. It is so perfect because you're like spot on. So hopefully my issues with foreshortening is going to be not totally eliminated, but at least improved. Because normally when I sketch, it's like a piece of paper lying on my table surface. So I tend to get these very narrow faces with a too long nose. So having your sketch right in front of you is just a very likable and different switch of how to do things. As you can see, I'm simply just loosely going to place where I think his features are going to be. I'm going for like a skinny man, skinny guy. So his face could have like a little bit of pointy ears. And then of course I want him to wear this fabulous hat, his explorer hat. And it must be like his favorite hat too, so it's a little bit, in my imagination, bent out of shape. It's not standing as crisp as when he bought it. I need to change my color. I can't see really what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna... Hi, Rhonda! Oh man, Rhonda, you're so cute. Thank you for commenting so much, encouraging stuff on my channel about, like, you want to see me stream this and that, It's just so fun. You and Devin and Kathy Arbor are like really good motivators. Okay, was his hat a little bit too... Oh my god, you can't even see it. Okay, bear over with me on this sketching phase because I'm just trying to narrow in his feature at the moment. I got a nose here. Okay, I can totally tell that. Now this is one of the learning curves with sketching on a giant easel on a stream. The camera doesn't really cover all the substrate, so if I think I can move freely around and you guys will see everything I'm doing, I'm actually wrong. His goatee is going to be here, right? Freaking love it. Okay, I should give him like that pointy, skinny chin, like some skinny men acquire, not through starvation, but simply just because they're born with it, Yeah, I think I got some of it right there. I really mean, I say, I have so much fun watching. You have? Okay. I sometimes think that my streams are a little bit boring because I tend to be a little bit quiet when I'm sketching. Hey, I just got the idea. He should be like so skinny that his shirt doesn't fit on the neck. Like it's hanging on him. How can I move to that? I would say that this could be like a coat line. Okay, here I really need that detail with a shirt that's so big for his neck that it's actually hanging. Maybe I could acquire that over here also. Okay, that was like really a skinny shoulders. Let me try it and work in more of the coat to see where we want the stuff to be. Should it be like this maybe? Yeah, I think I'm gonna work with that one. Let's see. Hi, Mariah. Let's see. Yeah, it is extremely difficult to. It's like I'm too blonde to think, draw, and then be social. if it makes any sense. Okay, I should go in with some where I want some of the dark colors, because right now I'm not sure that you guys can see anything on the camera. So if I just go in and mark up some of the shadow areas, it might be easier. Actually, this whole side right here on the face is going to be in shade. And I want like chin bones to stick out. I think I want to give him like a full beard right here. In oh my god, he could have like this reddish yellow, like oh, I know it. Van Gogh's hair color, not blonde, but like I want to say dirty blonde with a hint of very pronounced ginger. So I think I want to give him that. So it's like a lot of yellow, but then with that back hint of a ginger. So let me just go in with some orange right there. And then the goatees could be like yellow. Yeah, I think that hair color will go well with the background. There is a little bit of muted tones anyway. Um, let's get in some. I think we should give him. Oh, you can see him now. Yay! Strawberry blonde. That's a good expression. Let's give him like really a reddish face. And then we can ponder about, is it because of the sun or is it because he liked that red wine a little bit too much? But he is an explorer, so could be he's been outdoors a lot. And maybe we have some purple going on for the shadow up here in the eye area. I'm not sure that I'm supposed to give him so much lip because of the goatee, so I'm gonna wait a little bit with the lip. Let's get some. Okay, he's super skinny, so he will have that pronounced. Some guys, they have this almost like a V shape shadow with this shadow right here. Okay, we got some of him plugged in now. Let me hit this with some water and then try and mix it together. See what we get. Adam's apple, yeah. But I want like a sunken in neck. Like he's the kind of turkey you don't want to slaughter because there's like no meat on that neck, right? Now I'm going in and wetting up all the new colors. No, we're not going to have this as like the finished color. I think we're gonna go on top of this with maybe acrylic. I don't know what we're gonna end up with, but as a sketch, it's good to have him blocked in like this. Got his nose right here. Got a little bit more shadow here. I'm simply just dipping my brush so it's not like soaking wet, but it's a little bit wetter than just moist. So it will grab onto that new color. And then I recall to rinse it off when I go from a dark one into a bright area, like on this cheek area, so I don't like carry on the purple from the neck up here in this face right here. And he's got like glasses on, so I need to think about the reflection. I think I'm gonna place like a reflection down here and then inside that chin area there. So not to forget that detail, I'm just gonna wipe off the new color. Now I won't forget to place that reflection, right? The same over here, we got a reflection there. This needs something to carve him out so we can see him better, but let's work on the hat. I'm wondering what we're gonna put of color. I would so enjoy like a yellow hat, you know? Let's see. Oh, Devon is leaving. You have to go. Have a nice walk, Devon. Thank you for coming in. It's always nice. Oh, I got a lot of dark color up there from the tissue. Oops. If I go on top of this with white gesso, it will pick up the pigments from the new color too, so it will tint the gesso, which is like really likable. Let me grab some gesso, because I think I need to gesso in this area of the hat anyway, because this is where the sun would hit, right? So yeah, it would be kind of a shame to miss out a perfect spot to put some highlight. So now I'm just hoping that the gesso will pick up the yellow new colors to tint it a little bit. Oh, I need a lot of white to cover that. Can you see? Gesso might not do it. I may have to grab some white acrylic paint to cover that completely. Can you hear the noise? Like ding, 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 ding. It's because I got this piece of paper mounted on a huge chipboard piece. So I haven't yet bought that. I need to invest in some kind of a plate that fits the shape of the substrates that I like to work with, so that I can have a sturdy connection between the substrate and the easel, so it won't like pound like that. I got gesso on my brush still, so now I'm simply just twirling just to get some sort of soft transition. This helps building up the face. You know, just twirl, move your pigments a little back and forth. I think the difference between approaching a sketch like this and then there's so many ways you could get him on the substrate, right? You could kind of grit him out, try and go for the perfect sketch to start with before adding color. Or you can do this approach, which is, in my opinion, a lot more like playful. It's going to be like a fun session when you do it like this, because I don't linger in sketch lines, or it's not like they're not like a lot of places that will like totally irritate me, like I didn't get that nose corrected properly. Here you can move things. I can actually move the nose by just painting over. So nothing is just actually set when you sketch with this method here. It's still like very much manipulated and alive. So this is also the phase where I can take some breaks, step back, and see if I want to enlarge. Let's say that I want to enlarge his face. It's more easy to see that with this color blocking stage that I'm doing right now. Okay, I need to make that goatee like more pronounced. Like, what happened to that round cheek, So I'm wondering if he can carry having a chin that goes like this. Let's see. That could actually turn him into a little bit more like a cartoonish. I don't mind going the cartoon sketched approach here because he is like a character. He's a caricature inside my imagination. So, and you have that goatee there. Should we have a different colored background? Should I put it in now? We could. Okay, let's try and put a background right there and see what happens. So let me pick a color. Let's see. Where did you find your easel? I can't. No, you can't hear any noise. Okay. I went on Amazon and then just plotted in the word easel, and then I just browsed a lot of pictures. And the ones that I was looking for were the ones that would offer a free shipping, because I knew that this is going to be like more than 20 kilos. I don't know how that is in stones, but it's very expensive to ship in case you had to pay for the weight in shipping. So that's why I was my criteria was the free shipping, and not every one of them had that option. So once I selected those, I stopped looking at the rest because I didn't want to fall in love with an easel that needed a lot of money in shipping. Okay, this green, is that too much? I want to hit a note that's already in the background. That's a little bit too much. I actually think that this blue with some sort of a blue gray. Can you see these two colors? It could actually work. Let me just test it out right here. I got this line right there and it's not that attractive. So I think the task is to come over with some sort of gesso and remove that hard line work right there. Oh, I should come with a disclaimer saying that I might not finish this today. It's a very big substrate. So the fun is to put in a lot of small details and do that, So I might start this up right now, but I won't promise you to see like a finished ta-da stream when it's done. Okay, that line is like light is coming from here, so I can use the dark color on this side. Let's carry on the shadow up here also. Oh yeah, I could actually really carve out the hat by giving myself this very dark up here. Okay, let me try and put in some gesso on that, see where we end. Hi Gail! This is a little bit of a tester, Gail. Like, I want to see how it looks when you work on a big easel with a stream. Is it possible? Is it annoying to look at? But I definitely know that I work differently when I'm standing up, having a long shafted bristle like this, have a lot of real estate to spread on. I just work differently than you see me sitting at a table with a piece of paper in front of me. So I thought that I wanted to share the dynamic, because when you sit down and sketch on just a small piece of paper, you tend to be more meticulous and not so messy. So it's a shame not to share these fun hours. You just don't care. And just putting on colors. Right now, I'm having a party. I'm telling you, this is the fun part of the whole process, where nothing is set in stone. Everything is still like Play-Doh, and you just slowly remind yourself, like, oh, I want a highlight there. I want a highlight there. But there's still fun things to come. The worst part is when it's almost finished and you're afraid of overworking it and you're not anticipating that extra effect or something that is to come, like when you're basically, you can say that running out of ideas, right? Okay, he got a round hat on, so it wouldn't be wrong to carry the shadow right into the hat like this. Except for that one. I want that to be like very meticulous. Let's also carry some of the shadow work here. I like to bring in the background color as some sort of a dark shadow to my work. Could you call it a work? I think you could, because it helps merging the figure to your paper, so it doesn't look like he's collaged and pieced on, but he just kind of looks like he belongs. So whatever crazy background color you have, I think it's important to try and get it in. Yeah, I like that bling, straight nose. He's skinny, so he would have like an indent right here. Yeah, I think his shoulders are a little bit too narrow for my taste or for the way I think he's standing. So let me try and work on the shoulders. Can I bring down the camera? I could. I'm not really sure. Maybe they should start all the way up here. Look how you with gesso can block in uh, just a playful sketch line. Just to see how would it look if it was like that. If you regret, you can wipe it off and then go back with the blue color and push it. But it's too early to see if I regret. Okay, I need to kind of step back. Maybe that angle is a little bit. The wider shoulder I give him, the more masculinity I bring into the guy. So I'm thinking I want to take away some of his masculinity by removing that valley right here. So now he appears with a little bit sunken shoulders, a little bit softer guy, you know? Like I remove some oomph of his posture. That's how I want him to be. So let's marry that there. Because I'm moving the shoulders, I also need to remove this thing I did with the coat here. And I'm just going to remove it by erasing it out with water. Saying, I don't want that line work right there. I want something else. So now that is gone. And I think it's important to remove it if you know that you're not going to work more with that line. Why leave it on? Why not try and just get rid of that line work? You have to go? Okay, bye bye, Gail. Thanks for coming. Let's see. Uh, is there any question? I'm trying to figure out what medium you're using. Okay, I am sketching with Neocolor 2. It's a water soluble crayon. And then in my sketch process, I go on top of it with gesso. And that's how I sculpture in the guy. And then if I want to, I can let that be a sketch and then go on top of it with acrylic. Or I can leave it as is. It depends on if you have like a wonderful place, like a favorite, like let's say I really like this chin here and I didn't want to disturb that, I wouldn't go on top of that with acrylic because I wouldn't be able to recreate that moment right there. But an area like this nose where I need like a really strong highlight, I would need to go in with acrylic because as you can see, the white new color is not cutting it for me. This is a white new color with a little bit of gesso on top. And gesso is dissolving the crayon so it becomes removable. But okay, maybe this was like a really bad demonstration. But what I'm trying to say is that it's very hard to get that the really white value when you're working with a paper pieced background. You see the pattern paper too much through this area right here, which may be like beautiful for some, but really annoying for the face. Like I find it disturbing. I want the collage items to be some sort of pushed back background item and not part of the texture in the face. So that's why I think that I would go down to acrylic, which is much more opaque than these new color 2s with gesso. Yeah, but so far I'm just playing and building up. I really like that up here on his hat, I carved in the hat, and then the black background is like a negative painting that's gonna be emphasizing the hat. So in that way, the collage background is helping me to get to where I want to be. I could actually, can you see how I got this collage piece right here? I could transform that into some sort of a darker, like a band on his hat. Let me get some Prussian blue right here. I'm putting in the blue because I don't want to go black now. I want to leave the really black to the end, because this is, after all, still just a sketching phase. Yeah, more white here. Or can you see how there is an issue right here that's going to be a problem? I can simply just work on the background with that same brown color. Let me see. Hi, Gail. I'm working with new color 2s and then mixing it on top with gesso. Okay, you heard that. I'm just trying to read chat. And the watery, the water you see is because I am rinsing off my brush. Now I just rinsed it because I don't want to carry some of the blue into this brown area here. But I definitely need to get that brown line work back in. The reason for mixing up the new colors with gesso on and on is because this is a matte medium surface. It's collaged in with the matte medium, so I don't have a lot of grit on this surface. So if I go like this on random places, I can also disguise the hard edges of where I collaged in something that I didn't took the time to rip. I don't want to remove too much from that butterfly though. So I just think it's very likable to work with a mix of the white gesso on top of these collage areas. I'm not fond of this area right here. I'm gonna block it in with a dark color. I think I will take, it's not totally black. It's called, what is it called? Let me see. Umbra Nature. So it's a dark value, but not black. And then a lot of that gritty gesso on top of it. It's gonna help us later having that textured face. Okay, but back to this shoulder right here that I was working on before I got sidetracked. Oh my god, I'm sorry for the camera. I don't know how I can this area right here. I'm gonna rinse off the brush because I think I want to go in with some yellow. I've never worked with Neo Color 2s. You don't own any? Okay. It's just a water soluble crayon. I think you can use other water soluble sticks if you have, even like watercolor pencils. If they get blunt enough, you can slant them on the side. Like if you have one of these woodies, they will be the um, same way of working. Let me take like a yellow woody now that I'm talking about it. Simply just go in. I want him to wear this yellow suit. So I'm just blocking this in with yellow. I need to carve out some sort of um okay, let me just wet this first. The whole suit with the carved out from his flip on the jacket could have like this angle right here, and then he could have his shirt here. Yeah, that would actually work. Now I'm mixing in the gesso with the yellow so that it will kind of stay put. Otherwise, it's easy to just push the pigment around too much on the paper. But when you mix it up with the gesso, it just kind of stays put a little bit better. It's still, I think, water soluble, because it's not like completely mixed into the gesso. I want this to be like the bright yellow, and then I want this one over here to be like an ochre, because I think it's interesting to have like two different colors on his jacket. Is it crazy? I don't know. But let's try and put a lot of ochre on this one. And then I can sketch up okay, it needs to dry first. Maybe I could hit it with a heat gun in a minute. Yeah, I can already see now that it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be ochre over here and then yellow here. That's gonna be an interesting shift, because on such a big substrate, it will be boring to have like this whole area blocked in with just yellow. So I think that's a fun play to with that. I want to work more on this area here. So I'm just gonna hit it with a heat gun and I hope that my cord can reach. Let's see. Yeah, it's very wet. It's also very wet up here. It's gonna take its time to. I want it completely dry before I go over my next coat, because then I can just trust, that I won't smear out too much. And if it's too wet when you scratch with your crayon, you can actually wipe off the underpainting so you get like striations that I in particularly don't think is so beautiful. I would rather go for that soft. So right now I'm just putting back some of the sketch lines that we missed. He would have like an eye here. We have to put back the shape of his glasses. So let me just think. I want his glasses to be like Harry Potter round. Now I'm completely quiet because making a round circle is not my forte. That's one glass. The rest of the glass right here is going to be off his face. Yeah, I can picture it. I can simply see it. And then we got his bushy red eyebrow right there, an eyebrow right there. Him looking out, squinting. I want him to squint right here. Yeah, we got ourselves a botanical searching guy right here. Got an underlip right here. The beard, the reddish ginger red goatee kind of looking beard. And for some reason, I want discoloration on his beard under his nose to be yellow. That's just a little bit unattractive. I know, but the same here. And then I'm gonna make it in brown, but it's going to be highlighted with a much more yellow hue. I want this goatee to flip up here. Yeah, I see him. Can you guys see him? He is starting to show himself. He's actually got so much eyebrow that he can't control it. It's going off his face in this corner right here. Which is a little bit funny in my opinion. Yeah, I totally see him. I like that he's so skinny. Like he's too skinny for his shirt. Let's work on that. It would be like having a dark gap. Yeah, a gap is a good word to choose. Right there. And also a very dark gap here. ICB. I want to work on his the impression of him wearing too big of a cloth. So I needed to kind of hang a little bit. Let's see. Okay, for you guys who just came in, I recently painted this painting right here, and I ended up with this character of a guy that I thought I couldn't let go. I want to work more with him. I think he reminds me of some sort of anthropologist, you know, like he's an explorer, right? He's one of those guys who actually own a real traveler's notebook, walking around in nature, just pondering. And then I want to give him that ginger red, like Van Gogh, because I'm working with the yellow in his hat and his suit. It just reminded me of Van Gogh for some oddball reason. So I thought that I would make this drawing of this skinny guy pondering, gazing, squinting into the horizon. Lord knows what he's thinking. But he's not, he's got like his clothes is a little bit out of order, you know, he's not like totally neat and cleaned up. So I'm actually just playing with a character that emerged on one of my painting sessions. Okay, I'm not quite satisfied with I need I keep going back to this area here because it's a little bit bothering me. And what's new is that I'm actually working on my new giant easel. So this is also me testing out how does it feel to stream while you're working on a giant easel. I've never streamed like this before. But I do know that I work much more dynamic when I'm working with big sheets of paper. So, okay, maybe that flip needs to go over. Like the jacket needs to go under. Maybe that's what's bothering me. So let me remove that. Let me get some. Let me show you how you remove that. You just go in with water. Take off what you can of the new color. Dab it off. And then you go in with your gesso. And then you start sketching that shirt going on top of the coat. Now it's like super wet, and that is annoying, yes. So it needs to dry up before we continue. Now I think I got the shirt where I want it to be. And was it important? I don't know. I definitely think that it's taking shape. More white here. Okay, you can't even see what I'm seeing. Okay, I would actually prefer to grab some acrylic right now to set that jacket in yellow. So let me squeeze out some yellow on a palette. Oh, I'm sorry for all the camera angles. I need my pliers to open up this acrylic, so that's why I'm fumbling in the background here. Man, that's yellow. That's a little bit too yellow for my taste. I think I'm gonna mix in some white to tint out the yellow into a much more brighter yellow. Right now I got like a bumblebee yellow, but I want more of a brighter. Let's see. I think M. Grant calls it a bismuth yellow. If it is a good reference for anyone out there. So I just take squeeze out the bumblebee, take some white, and then I'm just with a palette gonna mix mostly in the white area. because then I get like a step out of that yellow. So now it's got that bismuth yellow hue. And then when I apply it, I'll go from dark to bright. So let me just apply it with the spatula so you can see what I mean. I would first start out with the dark, because it makes more sense in my head to apply highlights than it is to work the other way around, where you first go in with light colors. So do what's falls you most natural. And if that is to go from dark to light when working in acrylic, then just follow that intuition. I kind of like that spatula look, because I took the time to glue in a lot of collage pieces on the background. So using the spatula and scraping it off preserves some of the collage papers in the background. So if you took the time to put it in, then why not show it, right? Now I'm thinking that this sleeve right here is like a fold somehow. So when you have a fold, you have like dark values in the edges of the fold and then a light value in the middle to make it more dimensional. So that's what's going in my head right now, is to try and get that up here. It will also be darker because his face is maybe hitting it a little bit. And then white right here. So I'm working on top of a chipboard thing, and I like how when I'm scraping, it's giving this funky texture. Can you guys see? Let me see. Can you see these buckles right here? Like that texture? I really find that likable, so I'm leaving it in. I think it's okay to have like a jacket worked in with a spatula and then brush strokes on the face. It gives it, it's like an eye stopper. I also think that, oh, I'm sorry, I'm really working on that camera angle. I also think that if you got something neat going on, like this is the most important place in my whole painting. That's like the focal area. So, okay, if I really should go like anal right now, let me go all the way anal so you guys know what I'm thinking. Right now, I'm thinking composition. And I'm just going to go through step by step what's going on in my head. Right now, it's important for me. I settled out that light is coming from this direction. So I already know it's given that I will have shadows here, right? Then I'm thinking about what should be my focal point when people are looking at this. And I'm deciding it should be a highlight right here on this glass right there. So instead of picking the highlight that naturally comes underneath his glasses, his spectacles, that could also be a choice. I want this square right here to be where people are looking. And the reason for that is because it's 1/3 into the substrate and 2/3 up. So can I roll this out so you can see it in full length? That right there is 1/3 into the whole substrate and 2/3 up. So right there is going to be like a crazy ass highlight. And I want to be detailed in this area here, making it soft and nice. And then you can like commit murder down here because this down here is not your focal point. So texture wise, I think I will go with soft, blended out, detailed areas right here, and then be more and more rough with my application as I move downwards, because it will marry with the background in a much more likable way compared to if I was soft and detailed all the way. So if I follow that idea, you could call it an idea, I need rough texture up here to kind of tell your eyes that this is not the focal point, even though it's like a bright area up here. You can have like a wonderful highlight on his hat up there. You can also have like a wonderful highlight going here. But if I want that to be like the lightest light on everything on my painting, right now what I need to do is to add some light right there, and it has to be like pure titanium white. And for me to be able to remember this idea, I'm gonna put it in with a spatula. Here I'm having pure titanium white, and that's the only space on my whole painting that the value of pure titanium white will appear. All the other highlights must be pushed back either by a yellow or something that pushes back the white of the paint. So this will be like the dominant, the highlight. That's how I'm thinking. So again, I'm sorry for all the babbling, but it is actually important to have these thoughts while you are working, because as you can see, what I did was I actually mapped out my session for myself. I kind of gave myself road of direction, like what I want to do. And as soon as I realized that this is going to be the focal point, I can go like dark, 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 dark. You can like really darken out this area here. So that's why it's completely spot on to have like a ochre to represent the yellow coat on this side, and then bright yellow here. So yeah. And because I now know that this is the direction I want to go, I know that this must be more white, and this can be like a dull white. So I gently have to mix in some light colors for this one. And because I want to stay out of the titanium white value, I'm switching from now on. So all my whites is going to be a titanium buff. So that's what I'm thinking. Oh, I need pliers to open this. Let's see, I have some type of oil pastels. I can't remember if they were water soluble. I've never heard about a water soluble oil pastel. Could it be like the Prima? What was it called? I don't know. I'm not so good at brand names. But water and oil generally don't like really go well together. So it must be just like a water soluble wax pastel, maybe. Let's see. My Lena even thinks out what she's going to do. I just plot along and see what happens. You do really? You don't have like a plan? Okay. I get so stressed if I do something without a plan. Like I need those thoughts. I need that process of thought. Mm. And I think that's why it's so fun to sketch crazy with no rules. Like nothing is determined. It comes, the way he lands on the paper and everything, that kind of depends on what's going to be your final roadmap, like I just like that crazy approach to free up and be a little bit playful. But hey, the downside about this playfulness thing is that it's very difficult to finish. you kind of love the whole working process so much that you don't want the painting to ever stop. So you just keep on being sloppy for quite a long time. And there comes a time when you need to stop being sloppy and put on a work glove and then really start working on that detailed area. But as long as you can be in that playful phase where, you can just muck around with colors, pretending that you're still sketching, the longer the better, I think. Okay, I would like some titanium buff to be here. Now it's getting a little bit confusing for me, like what is acrylic, what is new color twos, if you can follow what I mean. So when it comes like blurry like this, all I'm thinking about is the media. Like, I don't want to put or introduce oil pastel right now because I am. It's possible for me that I would block it up with acrylic, and since oil pastels never really dry, it would be an error for me to put on acrylic on top of an oil pastel. So the only thing that I'm doing at this moment is that I'm just being aware of the media. I'm sticking to water soluble stick, gesso, and acrylic. And then when I need to put in some details, I can decide to put away the acrylic and grab another media like an oil pastel stick. But so far, I am so not throwing everything on this canvas. And it took me a while to learn my range of medias. And I think it's because I got confused by watching Jane Davenport, because she confused me so much. She is using all sorts of product to create her wonderful faces. And it kind of confused me because she didn't really teach much about what goes on top on what. Um, so it was a hard learning curve for me to realize that I couldn't use marker on this. I would kill a pen. I couldn't use, you know what I mean. Like, it was just a very big learning curve. So yeah. Okay. Right now I am more into his face up here. I can see that I have a line work here. So let's just pretend that he's bald. He's bald with no hat on. His head shape would be right here. So can you see how it's impossible that his hat is squeezed like this? It needs to be pushed to at least over here. Can you see it? Like if you picture him being completely bald, his head would actually go up here. So this hat needs to grow to this place. And how far out do I want really that shadow? This is just going to be like a Bermuda explorer hat. I think I'll keep the shadow, the length of the shadow right there. But let me work in that proportion right there and see how it sits. I'm simply just using gesso, just sketching with gesso, you could say. Yeah, I actually think that was not a bad decision. Something like that. That's better. I think I need some paint to cover up that dark collaged background. if I roll it up further, you can see I got this line work here. So I somehow need to hide this line work, but now the gesso needs to dry before I can continue. Okay, let me see chat. She just used her products, sales, sales, sales. Yeah, it seems like it's a sales representations. Like, how can I squeeze 10 or 15 items into one drawing session? And it totally confused me up because back then I didn't know anything about, I didn't own a crayon or oil pastel or a Sharpie marker, like I got like really confused. So I thought that I had to step back and then try and educate myself by learning by doing, like how will I not kill a marker, what not to do, because she just goes on top of everything. Like, it seems so doable, like you're not destroying your products. And then I have to say it, I also think that she sometimes have prepped her substrate off camera with, let's just say, transparent watercolor ground, because I have seen her use some acrylic products and then she goes on top of it with watercolor, and the way that the watercolor is not beating up, um I don't know. In my world, it's only possible if you have treated a top coat of watercolor ground. Oh my god! I totally already regret that I said this, but seriously, there are three phases on YouTube where she is having that finished watercolor brushstroke on top of something that's done with where it's like it's impossible, unless you have treated your face with some sort of, I don't know, clear gesso or watercolor ground. And leaving that info out is crucial, because when you are painting along with an upload on YouTube, your result will not be like hers. Yours would beat up. So yeah, there's just things like that. Okay. So, but it really sells the product when it glides. Everything is smooth. Everything is like a fairy tale. Like you just go whoosh whoosh. So I can understand the selling point of creating uploads like that. Like you have this magic brush that can transform into like 5 different shades, so you just go like whoosh, and then you have applied like light, dark, shadow, in one stroke. Because that's the kind of the imagination. Like, it's so easy when you see these edited YouTube uploads. So sometimes we kind of forget that most professional uploads on YouTube are actually edited, so it looks effortless to begin with. Yeah, it's not whoosh whoosh at all. So, um, let me see. I'm actually just burning off time. I want this to dry. Is it crazy how I focus on one area and it's like I can't continue until that's fixed? Like it's blocking my attention span. But let me refine that yellow. It's right here. I'm gonna mix up what I call bismuth yellow hue, which is just taking the original bumblebee yellow and mixing in some white. So I'm gonna do that while I'm sitting here babbling. Oh, you think I make it look effortless? I change things up so much. Like, get a different idea, or if I skate with no roadmap, that happens a lot. It's going to be like a bad drawing, you know, like then I start making mistakes with shadows and stuff like that. So if it seems like it looks effortless, then it's only because I kind of got the roadmap in my head, know how I want to, where I want to land. And it's so much easier if you I like to do tutorials like paint alongs, because then I know the outcome. So if you are painting along with someone, you kind of know the road, you know, like where you want to end up, what it's going to be when it's finished. That's very smooth painting session right there, because you can also see what the person is picking of colors and in what steps they're doing certain things. So paint alongs in my universe is really relaxing. Okay, maybe Lena's brain can focus on something else now we moved that hat. Yeah, it's definitely moved now. Now it's more realistic that he can actually wear it. But it still is super narrow. Um, what if we go like this? I know it's gonna be black on the. Yeah, maybe it actually had to be like that. Yeah. And then I got like leftover yellow on my palette. So instead of letting that go to waste, I'm just gonna plaster on more on this jacket. Because we can. I think it should actually connect all the way up here, right? Like his chin is like the jacket is behind his chin, sort of kind of way. This is like a landfill field of used yellow and white. So it's always nice to have a place in your painting where you can deposit these leftovers, because it makes me feel more frugal, you know, like nothing went to waste. No animals were killed during the session. So that was a nice one. Now I'm thinking about going in with the same palette strokes on this side with an ochre, because it would create some sort of symmetry between the two jackets. So let me find the ochre. Yeah, I don't have the magic brush. Oh my god, Rhonda, I saw this guy who edited his videos. So every time his hand left the paper, he has cut it out. So it really looked like he had this magic brush reloaded with just the pigment he needed. It was so mesmerizing to look at. I was thinking, you know, first of all, it made his video upload look a lot more shorter because he cut out all the wasted time where he's thinking, where he's rinsing a brush, mixing on the palette, and then so it makes it look like more fluently, but also like like a magic trick, you know. That was so cool. Right here, I'm just thinking line work. Like, couldn't it be awesome if the texture of the paint was telling you the direction of this fabric? So I'm trying to figure out, if I was a coat, where would I have like some odd texture. I like that we got this collage broken up. I actually like that splotted look. So now you want to see something really crazy? You, you can actually stamp with a palette, and then when you stamp with the palette residue, it gives you this very likable painterly look. Let me take it out to the camera. It looks like crusty bits, but on a substrate. The camera doesn't really pick it up. But you can actually work with this crusty bits texture for quite a while when you got the residues. So that's why I am fond of doing the wipe off stamps. Now people are gonna think that I'm so poor, but it's not about the money, it's about the waste, because this is not going to be recycled into something in nature. So as much as I can get this plastic up on my paper, I would rather do so. And doing these stamp things gives it I don't know, just like crusty bits. That's nice. But that show, but that's how I learned, by listening to the thinking process and why you're mixing. Oh, I feel that I'm just babbling, you know. I also have a lot of downtime in my brain where I'm actually not thinking at all. So right now is one of those where I'm taking a break, and I think it's because at this stage right here, I really would take a long break to let it cure up and dry before I come back and work on it. Nice to know someone is getting everything out of the product. Hey, maybe while this is drying, I can show you guys something I finished. Okay, I'm just gonna move this. Oh my god, I played so much with the Klimt ephemera pack. It was really, it was really time and money well spent. I bought an ephemera pack of the Klimt collage from Stamperia, and along with the papers. And then I, oh my god, you can't even see the whole thing. Okay, this is like humongous. This is like really huge. Does it even show how big it is? How, oh my god, this new easel camera thing is like really a test. Okay, it's super huge. It's super golden. Look how shimmery it is. And I got these plastic pieces mounted on top of it. So whenever you're looking at it, it looks like jewelry. And then I went in with the Tim Holtz oh, what is it called? You know, you can make like enamel dots, and they're also shiny. So I made a lot of texture with the enamel dots. Tuk, 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 tuk. I took gold pastel to put in like shiny dots, and then I took like real foil and then foiled in her jewelry and other spots. And then I ended up with this very, very playful, rich drawing, you could say. It was just, oh. It was just, talking about throwing more and more and more on this piece of paper. I really, really like it a lot, and I totally like her white outfit. It just goes so well to empathize, that femininity with all the gold. So the white and the gold just go so good together. And then to make it look like she's having some diamonds in this golden bracelet, or not necklace, I took stickles that got the shimmer of something turquoise that goes well with the background. So it looks like she's got like diamonds. It doesn't really catch on camera, but if I twist it like this, for me, it's sparkling like a hidden gems or something. uh, Susan Lucy. Oh, I don't know who that is. Let's see. Thank you, Devin. Then I, but I'm telling you guys, working on this area right here was such a joy. The thing about having a large substrate is that it's like having a big sandbox where you can play in. So it just gives some air in between all the collaged items. So it was like really, really fun. She was a television actress in soaps. Oh, okay. So an American actress. Yeah, but that was like really a fun one. Working with those Klimt collage pieces, these uh, what is he calling them? Something that starts with an M. Mungles. I don't know. He has a name for these clusters of oval shaped. Um, yeah. Could you call them marks or something? I think I would play more with this. I like the way he built it up with just oval shapes that he kind of entangled inside, and then he just layered it up to give it some dimension. And then he comes in with a checkerboard where it's sepia and gold, and it just looks so awesome. So I think one day, if I have the time, it really takes a long time. Can you picture a background in that texture? Like you're dressing up a whole curtain somehow with this texture work right there, because then you would have the joy of having to work on this piece of paper for several hours. It would be like a week long thing that you could return to and just entangle your way on the background. I would really love to have that experience. So moodless, yes, it is moodless. It is, Devin. I don't know how to express it, but it's a certain style that August Klimt he got, and I think I would like to explore it more because I recognize some of the Viking engraving patterns in it, so it naturally attracts my attention. Like, it's like a Nordic theme or something. Yeah, I don't know. So many years. Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to show that one because that was one of the first things that I really found out how an advantage it was to work on an easel instead of on a table. Because if I had this mess on a table, I don't think that I would feel interested in adding all these things. So it was fun. Hmm. Okay, let me put her aside and then let's go back to the guy. The guy. Hopefully he's dried up some more. Let's see. No, it's still cold. It's not completely dry. It's still like cold. So yeah, I can also see that I get. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. Maybe I should just end the stream and then let it dry up. I also like the texture of like you have used impasto paint where it comes in big fat globs. Um, like you can really see the textures here. And if I go on top of this, I kill the texture. So it is important to have the drying sessions in between this layering process here. But yeah, I actually think that I should end the stream and then let this dry up completely before I go on top with the next code. So sorry for it being such a short one. I hope it was fun anyway. It was really fun for me to try and stream working on this easel. I should do that once more. Let's see how many views this stream get, and if it gets any thumb down or something, then I know that it was a bad idea. It is making people seasick when I'm turning the angle on the camera, but I don't know how to set up the camera to get that full view. It was fun. It's so good. It's so important that you guys had fun. But like Gail said, stay safe and stay in a good mood. You're going to watch back what you missed. Okay. Oh, thank you, Devin. Thank you, CB. No matter how long, take care, crazy lady. Yes. But see you out there in the YouTube void. Bye bye.